Hi folks, thank you so much for joining me today. My name's Greg and this is All About Candles. I'm your self-proclaimed Canadian candle connoisseur, and on Saturdays, thank goodness it's the weekend, you guys. It's been a long one. On Saturdays, I like to share candle hauls with you. Candles that I've picked up over the last week or two. There's a sale this weekend at BBW here in Canada. $15.95 candle sale. I had a 20% off coupon. So I really wanted to stock up on some of my favorite candles in their neutrals line. I've talked quite at length before about how much I have been enjoying a lot of the candles that they've been releasing in this line. There's quite a few caveats to that. There's some hits and some misses, but let's just get right into it. Most of these were repurchases for me, and so I just wanted to share with you some of my thoughts on them. The first one, I've talked about this candle already, but yes, Pink Lavender and Espresso, probably in my top 5 favorite Bath & Body Works candles right now. I think this is the 5th or 6th one that I've purchased. I kind of like to always have one of them around at this point. It's just my favorite. And the scent notes are rich pink lavender, caramel espresso beans, and smooth vanilla. I love this candle. I just can't resist getting another one almost every time there's a candle sale. It's not like I'm hoarding them away. I've been burning them quite often. I've had one of these on the go almost ever since they were released. I was really happy to see that they brought it back because I had just finished the one that I had from last year's release. And oh gosh, this is just intoxicating. It's deep, it's smooth, it's got that espresso sort of jolty wake up to it. On the top, I really get the espresso, and then in the mid to base range, you pick up more on a sort of caramely lavender scent. There have been lots and lots of comparisons to lavender marshmallow, and they do indeed share a very similar base note. It's that really caramely, sweet, smooth, rich, dark note, but the lavender marshmallow has no espresso coffee sort of note to it at all. The pink lavender and espresso is heavy on the espresso note, and I think this version's a little bit different than the first one that came out, and I think this one's better. Generally it performs pretty well until about 1/3 or 1/4 left, and then I end up putting it on a heat lamp or in a candle crock because it does end up getting murky and sooty. But with a candle that I love this much, I don't care. Sticking with the sort of coffee theme, I also picked up coffee and whiskey. This one's been around for a while too. This is considerably different than the first version that came out. I like this one more too. I feel like they've really improved upon it. The scent notes that you get are bold Irish whiskey, splash of vanilla, hint of coffee. To me, you get coffee in there for sure. And I think that the splash of vanilla is sort of trying to signal a smoothness. What I don't actually pick up on that much is like the whiskey. It's called coffee and whiskey, and the scent note, first one is bold Irish whiskey. To me, it's more of a conceptual candle in the sense that it's not a bourbony alcohol sort of scent. To me, it's more of a really, really rich, deep, dark amber scent, And so it's one of those things where if you're told this candle is coffee and whiskey, you'll smell it and you'll go, oh, coffee and whiskey. But if I hadn't been told that, if I was just given this in a blank sort of sniff test, I'd say that it was an amber candle, a deep amber candle with vanilla, musk. There's something a little bit woody, something a little bit nutty to it. And it's really good. I can't completely 100% put my finger on it, but I like it a lot. Oh, I really do enjoy it. There's a smokiness in there as well. Oh, it's nice. It's rich. It's delicious. It came out last year in a darker jar. Maybe I'll put up a picture of it. You've probably seen this one around. And that one was weaker than this one is, in my opinion. So I'm impressed with the new version. I like it. Had to pick up another one. I also had a really, really lucky find because at Bath and Body Works, when I was there, they had a candle that has been off of the shelves for a really long time that I adore, and that is the Salted Amber and Vetiver. Oh, this is a nice one. This is one of my favorites in this neutrals line right now. I was just really lucky to find it because this has been off the shelves. These were all clearanced away at probably the last semi-annual sale or even before that. No, these have been off the shelves for a while. So the only thing that I can assume is that somebody at my store that I went to returned it. Somebody must have been holding on to it for a little while and sent it back because it looks perfectly brand new. There was only one on the shelf. And, you know, as you do, I'm digging around quite a bit when I'm in there because you never do know what might be hiding in like a nook and cranny or in a candle holder there or something. So I am always got my eye on things. And this was just calling my name from this dark little corner of the shelf, sitting there all alone, just begging me to take it home. Oh, I'm so happy I found this. The scent notes are salted amber, fresh orange flower, and rich vetiver. And I like it a lot. This is a repurchase for me. I only ever bought one of these before it kind of disappeared, so I was really happy to find it. There's a really oceanic sort of scent note happening here that's salted amber. You definitely pick up on the saltiness. The amber isn't a really, really dark, deep one. It's a bit on the lighter side. And then vetiver. Vetiver to me is a bit of a smoky, woodsy addition to this. On the top, what you get first and foremost is sort of a salty earthiness. Oh, it's really interesting. It's a really complex smell. I don't remember how it performed, but I remember being pretty happy with it, so I'm really excited to have another one. I hope it comes back. I've got a feeling it was probably not the most popular candle in the world, so I'm not sure if it will. And I might just have to hold on to this guy and cherish it for a little while before I actually get around to burning it. But yeah, don't you just love it when you have a really good find like this? Oh, I was so happy. It's very briny. It's very aquatic and briny and salty and minerally. And it's not something that could be used for, it's not a scent that would translate into any sort of body care, cologne, perfume. It's definitely, it's definitely for one's particular taste. Anyways, I was really happy to find it because it is my particular taste. And speaking of vetiver, there is actually one candle that I got that I hadn't tried yet, and that is the Cardamon and Vetiver. I feel like vetiver is really a sort of popular buzzword right now. A lounge I was at not too long ago, I saw an old fashioned that was using vetiver bitters in it. Oh, this one's so nice. The scent notes: warm cardamom, vetiver, and white amber. And so, I mean, these candles are extremely different, even though they share two scent notes. They both name check vetiver and amber. But whereas this one is sort of a salty earthiness, this one is more sweet. there's a sweetness to it from the cardamom. It's not a cardamom note that is spicy. Like, you don't get any sort of a spicy, foody, like curry or soup type of smell from this at all. It's in no way a food situation. It's much more, oh gosh, a warm, sweet, earthy. Vetiver sometimes can smell a little bit funky, almost like roots of a plant in soil. And that's what I get from this one. Oh, it's a really interesting blend. And I'm really excited to burn it, because I think that this is gonna be one that really opens up when it's burning. I'm wondering if maybe the cardamom will turn a little bit more spicy. I'm interested to see, but anyway, so yeah, cardamom and vetiver. Next up, what do we have? Oh gosh, should we even get into the mahogany coconut of it all? Yes, we should. Here it is, mahogany coconut. Right up there with pink lavender and espresso as one of my favorite candles from Bath and Body Works right now. I just did a review of mahogany vanilla. I really love mahogany. It's one of my favorite scent notes. There's something I find really sexy about it, and this mahogany coconut is just gorgeous. I think it's probably my favorite coconut candle from Bath and Body Works, and Bath and Body Works does a lot of coconut candles, but for me, there's something about this one that's just really smooth, silky, creamy, rich. And it's tropical, it's coconutty, and sort of invokes that sort of almost a tropical vibe, but it's balanced out by this rich mahogany note that's woody and musky, and it's really nice. The scent notes it lists are creamy coconut, mahogany woods, and English lavender. I really don't get a floral from this lavender. You know, I guess now that I say that, there's something in there that's, I don't want to say soapy because it doesn't smell like soap, but sometimes lavender to me can come across as a little bit soapy. But what I get mostly is just a really rich, bassy coconut. Oh gosh, it's beautiful. This is the third version of mahogany coconut that I've bought in my quest to sort of like find one that performs the best. And I've done a fair bit of research, and I'm willing to now share my findings with you. The first time mahogany coconut came out, it looked like this. That's a lie. It came out 2 summers ago in a sort of tropical line, but I passed on it and never tried it. And then it came out in the neutrals line like this with the navy blue jar, and it had the skinny core wicks on it. And as you can see right now, I'm about halfway done this candle, and it's doing really well. However, I know that once it gets down to about here, it's gonna become really problematic and murky and sooty. And unfortunately, that does tend to affect the fragrance of this candle quite a bit. And so just like pink lavender and espresso, I usually put about the last third of it either under a candle lamp or in my candle crock. And I've narrowed the problem down to the wicks. This one has the thin core wicks, but then on candle day, this version came out in this sort of pastel spring/summer line that they did. We got this pastel version of mahogany coconut, and this is the one that has burned the best. I picked up 2 of them. This one has the thin curly wicks. These are the really thin flat wicks that like curl quite a bit, and they don't really mushroom top. and they don't soot. I just recently reviewed Coconut Sandalwood, which wasn't my favorite fragrance, but it used these thin curly wicks and burned like a dream. And this version of the candle is the version that burns the best. Now, I have not yet burned this blue one, but for some dumb reason, they went back to these thin core wicks. And I don't understand why they would do that, because now I'm guessing that this one is gonna perform exactly the same as this one. I love the fragrance so much, I'll put up with it. But after having done this, with the wicks that burn beautifully from top to bottom and do not soot or discolor the candle, why would they then go back to the old formula with these wicks for the neutrals line? Doesn't make sense to me. I have another theory that it might have to do with the type of jars, and this is about for the neutrals candles in general. I'm wondering if maybe this type of like ceramic jar sort of contains the heat differently, because this one is a wraparound label, but it's a glass jar. And so they could use the thin curly wicks in here, but to release it in the neutrals line, they have to change the wicks up. And my best guess is that I have noticed that these jars, all of the jars that the neutral candles come in, I have noticed that they get extremely hot. Now the glass jars, they get really hot too. You have to be careful. But I find that these jars get exceptionally hot compared to other candles from Bath and Body Works. And so I'm wondering if they have to sort of tinker with the formula to sort of fix that. But I don't know, these thin core wicks are pretty consistently viciously hot and mushroomy and sooty. You really need to stay on top of trimming them. You can never burn for longer than like 2 or 3 hours. But anyways, I'm still excited to try this. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe they have fixed something in the wax formula itself and this will burn beautifully. Fingers crossed. Here's to hoping. So that was my haul, my White Barn Bath and Body Works Neutrals haul. I'm really excited to burn all of these. I think I'm gonna get into most of them right away. I'll probably save my Salted Amber and Vetiver for a rainy day. But yeah, I'm excited to fire all of these up in the near future. I really appreciate you joining me today. Let me know in the comments section your thoughts about the White Barn Neutrals candles. Which ones do you love? Which ones do you not like? There's been Palo Santo and Sage, beautiful, really beautiful rustic candle. And there was Wildberry and Ube, which was really interesting. I like that one a lot. What else has been good in the neutrals line? Sea salt and neroli. Oh, my one wish for summer is that they bring back the sea salt and neroli. That was a fabulous fragrance and a really well-performing candle. So I feel like if they could bring those back sometime soon, that would just be peachy. But they've also had some pretty big misses in the neutrals line in the form of like repackages. It's felt like they've tried to sort of sophisticate a couple of their older fragrances and put them in this neutrals line and then rename them as if they're really like pulling a fast one over on us. You know, the average consumer probably really doesn't notice, but anyone that knows anything about Bath and Body Works recognized Blue Jasmine and Currant as 1,000 Wishes. I mean, that was just the most blatant repackage that I can think of them having done in recent memory. And they also repackaged unicorn sprinkles as raspberries and whipped vanilla. So I'm not saying that they're all winners, but many of them certainly are. Anyways, enough rambling. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll hopefully see you tomorrow. Please join me again. Talk to me in the comments. If you could like, subscribe, it would really mean the world to me. And until next time, let's burn some candles and bitch about it. Bye, guys.